Hello everyone, I'd like to welcome you to this lesson titled Solving Algebraic Equations, and I want you to open up your math books at page 57, get out your math journal, pencil, and you'll also want to use a calculator as well. So we can see the objective for this lesson is to solve equations in one variable. Okay, so what do we mean by solving equations? So what we're going to do, we're going to think about a problem like this that you can see below on page 57, x plus 5 equals 8. What we're trying to do is find a solution to this and think about what plus 5 would give us 8. So we need to find the value of the variables for these different problems. Now, there's a couple strategies that we can use. First of all, we're going to take a look at using substitution to solve simple algebraic equations. Now, what I mean by substitution, let's take a look at page 59, question 1, to see what I mean by substitution. So page 59, question 1 is saying x plus 3 equals 7. We're trying to find a solution to what x is for this equation. So what plus 3 gives us 7? Now you may understand this right away, but we're going to go through the process here because you'll need to understand this process when you solve some more complex algebraic equations. So let's see here. If x equals 1, x plus 3 would equal 1 plus 3, which would give us 4. Okay, now obviously that would not work. So you can try it, you can check it, you can revise it there. If x equals 2 for this equation, x plus 3 equals 2 plus 3, that's going to give you 5. So that will not work. If x equals 4, then x plus 3 equals 4 plus 3, which would give us 7. Okay, so we can see that 4 would be the solution there. So x plus 3 equals 7 is true when x equals 4 there. Okay, so 4 would be the solution to that equation there. X equals 4 would give you 7 there. So that is a strategy that you can use. Now, we're also going to use another strategy where we can just use the inverse operation to get the variable alone, and that'll provide you a solution as well. Okay, so what do I mean by inverse operation? Inverse operation means the opposite of the operation you're dealing with. Okay, so it's important to understand the opposite of addition here would be subtraction. Okay, so to set this problem up using the inverse operation strategy, what we do is we subtract the number that's being added, multiplied, subtracted, or divided with the variable. Okay, the side of the variable, you take that number and use the inverse operation on both sides of the equation. So I take minus 6 on the left side and subtract 6 from the right side of my equation. Now what this does, this gets my variable alone, so that gives me p. 13 minus 6 gives me 7, so I could see the solution for this problem, p equals 7. Now I can check this out. So I plug in 7 for p, and we can see that 7 would be the solution for that equation there. So again, use the inverse operation on both sides of the equation. That'll get the variable alone, and that'll help you see the solution for the problem. Now let's take a look at number 4. K minus 10 equals 7. So what we're trying to figure out, what number, when you subtract 10 from it, will give you 7. So we're going to use the inverse operation here. So we're going to add 10 to the left side, add 10 to the right side. Inverse operation of subtraction is addition. Just think about it's the opposite of it. Now, what this does on the left side, this gets my variable all alone. And now we can just add 7 plus 10. That's going to give you 17. So what this means is that when k equals 17 and you take 10 from it, you'll get 7 there. Okay, and again, you can just check this out. 17 minus 10 will will give you 7 there. So we could see that 17 is a solution for number 4. So now let's take a look at number 5 on the same page. We have 2m equals 6. Remember, whenever a number is right next to a variable, that means it's multiplication. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide, use the inverse operation of multiplication, which is division. So we're going to divide by both sides of the equation. So we're going to divide by 2 on the left side. We're going to divide by 2 on the right side. So we have the inverse operation that gets our variable alone. Just remember what that does. That just gets your variable alone on the left or right side of the equation. Bring down our equal sign. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So the solution for this algebraic equation, m equals 3. So what does that mean? Remember, whenever a number is next to a variable like this, that means multiplication. We can plug it in the check. 2 times 3 is going to give you 6 there. Okay, so again, using the inverse operation on both sides of the equation can help you get that, will help you get the variable alone and then find the solution to the problem. Okay, now for the final problem that we're going to do is we're going to work on number 5 all the way over on page 63. So let's go ahead and work and turn to this problem. So what we have here is we have 12 equals a number divided by 7. Okay, so once again, we're going to use the inverse operation on both sides of the equation, and that will give us the value of n. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply by 7 on the left, on the right, and multiply by 7 on the left. What we do is we use that inverse operation that gets our variable alone. 12 times 7 equals 84. So we can see 84 would be the solution to this equation. Now, we need to figure out if this is true or not. So what we can do is we can just take 84, divide that by 7, and we can see that's going to give you 12, which is right here. So this concludes the video on lesson 8.1, which is titled Solving Algebraic Equations. If you have any questions about this concept, please come and see me.